Hi everybody, welcome to Honey Radio. We are in episode number 10, and I'm here with three of my honeys. I'm here with Revenge Honey Linny.
Hi.
I'm here with Supernatural Honey Suzanne.
Hello.
And the Hardcover Honey Jocelyn.
Hey.
And we'd like to, first of all, before we get started, thank our sponsors, Bee Nectar Meadery and Scandal Brewing. Thank you guys so much for helping us do this. And now to the best part, we get to introduce our guest. So, female moviegoers might remember tonight's guest from your 90s fantasies. But here at the Horror Honeys, we prefer to think of him a little differently. Okay, maybe not. But it's because of his detour into the dark side that we welcome Mr. Ethan Embry to the podcast tonight to talk about his film, Cheap Thrills, which is releasing itself all over the place this weekend. Hi, Ethan.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're good. We're so glad you're here. It's been an interesting road of Twitter harassment to get you here.
I'm really happy to be here, and I never felt harassed. Was I harassing you?
No, it's great.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, you can though. My husband, however, is like, "Who's this Ethan Embry guy?" I'm like, nobody. Oh my god. Okay, so to start off with, we want to talk about your previous horror films, which we kind of did off air, but I want to do that again. Most specifically, your Masters of Horror featured appearance in Incident on and Off a Mountain Road.
And I think that might have been my first. No, because I did a quick couple of scenes. I guess you remember that '90s movie, Disturbing Behavior?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would kind of fall into the genre vibe. But other than that, I think that the Masters of Horror, I think that was my first kind of dive into it.
And what did you think?
My first dive into it as an adult, you know?
Yeah. So what did that do for you? It seems like you really liked it. All your newer films that are coming seem to be very much in that vein. I mean, not like the same kind of vein, but you know.
No, yeah, I love doing. The thing is, for me, I like triggering an emotional response. You know, that's why you do art. That's why you make movies. You want to trigger a response in your audience, and the more drastic the response, the more pleasure I personally get.
Mm-hmm.
And fear is a pretty drastic response. I like repulsion. That's always great. And if you can scare them, repulse them, and make them laugh, then I am a happy camper.
Okay, so going back to On and Off a Mountain Road, you've played such super lovable, super sweet characters in the past, but your villains are super charming and kind of terrifying. If you had to play, which one's more fun? Like the happy-go-lucky guy or the charming, wanna-fuck-your-brains-out bad guy?
Well,
Sorry.
It's almost too the happy-go-lucky, always a big smile on your face. It was great, and I would never take that back, you know. But there's a lot more work involved with playing a psychopath, and that's I like the research of those type of people a lot more, and I don't know. It is a little more fulfilling to me, the darker stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it just kind of goes with where I currently am, because right now I'm not going to get a job playing the happy-go-lucky guy. I'm going to walk in the room, and that's not who they see anymore, you know? Not saying, I mean, I'm really happy. I am really content, and I really enjoy the life that I'm living. But I feel like I'm carrying a lot more on my shoulders these days. And so those opportunities aren't really coming around like they were.
Gotcha. Well, that's kind of a nice progression then. I mean, I know for myself personally, I've always identified more with the villains, but that's me. I think that's more of a Horror Honey problem than anything. I guess that kind of answers the question. If you'd rather play a villain or a hero, forever on. Oh, we lost him. Bugger it. Bugger me. Let's add him back in.
Getting another beer.
Please do. I've opened mine.
I just messaged you that I hope you're recording because I realized that my microphone is going to pick up every one of my hacking coughs. I can mute my Skype, but I can't do shit about the mic.
That's
so.
okay. That's okay. That is okay.
All of a sudden I was hacking, like I had it muted and I'm coughing, and I looked down and the
He's calling me back. He's calling me back.
Pshoo!
God damn it. Somebody called me, and it's somebody that I told not to call me for an hour. Oh.
That person is dead to us.
Pretty much.
Yeah. If it wasn't my blood brother, he'd be dead to me too.
Okay, well, pass it along. That we're a little verklempt about it.
But I'm glad it's easy to find you again because I can't guarantee that's not going to happen
It's fine.
twice.
Yeah, we have editing software.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
We can edit. I probably won't, but we'll see.
I was rambling anyway.
I think I was too, so it's okay. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, hey. There's a question about your role in Once Upon a Time.
Hey, what's up?
I was super, super sad that I totally missed that you were in town when you were filming that. So I was like, man.
For a long time, too. I was up there for about 6 months.
Yeah. Like, thanks, Netflix. Thanks for letting me know.
I like Vancouver. I think that's a great city.
It has its charm, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. That's where we shot Masters of Horror, actually.
Yeah, it looked really goddamn familiar, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I know where this is?
That little reservoir walk.
Yeah. Yeah, oh my god, that was that suspension bridge. Jesus, fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Was that your basement, Kat? That was your basement, wasn't it, Kat?
Can I take the Fifth Amendment up here?
I don't think we just have a fit. Try though.
How does that one end? I end like my eyes are gouged out and shit, right?
Yeah, you're like the cutest scarecrow ever.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. It's not a good ending for me. That one.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's the drill press for you.
Right.
Have you blocked it out?
I haven't seen that one in so long. I should watch that again.
I watched it today. It was actually way better, to be honest. It was way better than I was expecting. But I saw the big dude from 300, and I was like, really? And then it got scary again, so it's okay.
Oh, is he in that too? Is he in 300?
It looks like the monster from 300, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, the big dude from Phantasm, my love of Phantasm when I was a kid is what was the sealing deal to go up and do that Masters of Horror.
Oh, nice.
When I was a kid, that was the one that I burned the magnetic strip off of the VHS copy. That garbage disposal scene when the bug and it's originally the guy's finger or something, and then they're trying to get it in the garbage disposal and it turns into a big beetle. I think it's disgusting.
Oh my god, I totally have to rewatch that. It's been way too long since I've seen things go down the garbage disposal.
And it's totally campy. It's either really early 80s or late
79.
79, so yeah. And that's a bad period for filmmaking.
It was a dark time.
It was. But there's something about that movie that just gets you.
Oh man, it
I
has
have
that
to
one.
love movies from the 70s, so I have no complaints.
I love love the early 70s. The early, like Marathon Man. That's one of my favorite
That's
thrillers.
I was thinking about Marathon Man today because I was at the dentist.
It's so horrifying.
It really is.
It's such a hideous scene, that scene. And that's where that really famous, there's a famous quote that goes around on set where Laurence Olivier, Dustin Hoffman wanted to, because in the movie he hasn't slept in 4 days. And so for that scene that is the pinnacle of his pain and suffering, he didn't sleep for 4 days leading up to that. And he showed up to go to work that day, and Laurence Olivier turned and looked at him and he said, "Try acting, my dear, it's far easier." And that's like, it's a famous story that you tell an actor that's just trying too hard.
I know a lot of them.
Because Laurence Olivier just destroys him in that scene. He's so scary. Yeah.
That's a scary part.
Yeah. What else got? Omen, The Omen. When was that? When was The
That
Omen?
was 76.
76. So that's right before movies got really shitty.
What did we say Poltergeist was? 80? Did we decide that Poltergeist
Yeah,
was?
it was like
1980?
80, 81, wasn't it?
Was Poltergeist 80?
81? 80 or 81, right?
Yeah.
I remember we were really surprised that it was rated PG because PG-13 hadn't been invented yet.
Yes. Yes.
That's
yes.
crazy that that's PG.
I know. Like fucking The Incredibles was PG. That's
That's a great comparison, actually.
And
Well,
Big,
The Incredibles
that's
is
another
very-
one. He drops the F-bomb in Big. You know, I mean, it's not a horror movie. We're totally changing genres here.
I don't know. I mean, it's an adult woman having sex with a small child, so technically.
Yeah. And he cuffs her boobie and he says fuck in it, and it's still PG.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at Tom Hanks, right?
It's true.
You can.
Only when he's
Barbara-
crying. If
yeah.
I can't handle any more ugly Tom Hanks crying, I just can't.
Oh, have you seen Captain Phillips? Did you see that?
No,
I haven't seen it.
Want to watch that?
There's one scene at the end of the movie where the character's pain and suffering and journey is over and he is now safe. Okay? And there is one scene with Tom Hanks that solidifies every bit of praise he has ever been given as an actor. It's unbelievable.
Oh man.
It looks like the guy just went through a tornado and survived, and it's so real and so good. Oh, it's so good.
Listen, Tom Hanks was in The Burbs. He can do whatever he wants for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Burbs.
I love The Burbs. Bruce
That's
Dern.
movie
Bruce Dern is the man.
Oh.
What's up? And Corey Feldman? Come on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe
I wish
him
Bruce
to
Dern
have
would have won for Nebraska this year. Oh well.
Wasn't it the movie where he's always calling out Pete to do?
If I meet Corey Feldman on Saturday, I'll pass around everybody's love.
Not mine.
Yay.
Okay, not cats, but everyone else's.
Everybody else is
I'm
fine.
going on.
What just
Where
happened?
you?
Oh.
Where?
Lenny's going to a Mad Monster party this weekend.
Yeah, in Charlotte. It's this massive
Are you there?
convention with Elvira and William Shatner and most of the original cast of Rocky Horror and Heather Langenkamp is there. So I am stoked. I am going for Heather Langenkamp. I am going to stalk her.
She is so nice.
That's what I've heard.
She is
So
so
excited.
Okay, Kat, make up your mind.
Okay. I've only been to one convention in my life.
What?
Yeah, it's an interesting group of people convention.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Super fans.
Oh, the super fans.
it's pretty amazing.
really good word for it.
Yeah, I went. There was a Once Upon a Time convention.
Oh shit!
Wow.
That was it. And so there was a princess ball. You know, it was all princess themed. It was very, very interesting.
Wow.
Very sweet people, but they definitely went all out.
Yeah, they usually do.
Yeah.
That's kind of the deal. It's like,
God
if you're
bless
gonna go and you're gonna spend this much money, you're gonna get seen, so you may as well get your picture taken. Okay, I need to... Cat, fuck off. Sorry, my cat is, like, sitting on the keyboard. She needs to fuck off. Ah!
Until you've been accosted by a brony at a comic book convention, you don't really know what it's like to be at a convention.
A brony.
Like, actually physically hit on by a
A
brony.
brony is a grown man who's super into My Little Pony for some reason.
Oh, wow.
It's like a whole thing. It's a whole group.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you.
Right? I'm right.
No, you're completely correct. And there's a whole... I watched a documentary on it, and that should have been a horror film.
I wish I could hear that.
Do they put the butt plugs with tails in constantly? Is it those girls?
I didn't have to find out, but I was invited to join their super secret society. And they don't let a lot of girls in, but they were going to make an exception for me.
And you didn't
The
want
Illuminati? Is that what they call it?
You didn't want to be a Pegasister?
I tried to get away, but the male friends I was with thought it was so hilarious that they refused to help me. So they just left me there and told me good luck. And, yeah. Fun times were had by all.
Has everybody on the call right now seen Cheap Thrills?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Let's bring it back to anything but bronies. Okay, so Cheap Thrills. So I saw this in theater. Thank you, Ethan, for
butt plugs up your butt.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of things you don't want to happen to you, Ethan, thank you so much for kind of roundabout getting me into that screening here in Vancouver. They actually had no clue who the fuck I was. They were like, we don't have a guest list, but you look trustworthy. I'm like, fools. So.
Well, I'm glad you got in.
Yeah, me too.
That worked out good.
It did. I also got in deep shit from them for live tweeting during it.
Yeah, but you did good. You didn't spoil anything.
No!
Yeah, you did good. And it helped me out a lot, too, because then I knew where the movie was at.
Oh, that was super entertaining.
Yeah.
All right. So,
actually, right now, I've got the pleasure of going to see it with another audience. It's the first opening day in Los Angeles. So I'm going to go sneak in the back. It's really fun to watch with an audience. It's pretty rowdy.
Yeah, it was pretty reactive when we were there. I know I was pretty reactive. I know my husband was, and the guys across the way from us were, so I didn't feel too bad about yelling at the screen. Oh, we lost Jocelyn, but that's okay.
That's what I love about it, is it is one of those yell at the screen sort of, it's like Rocky Horror Picture without, even if you don't know the lines, people are yelling and screaming and throwing shit at the screen.
Yeah, no, it was a really cool experience, and it was an unexpected experience, I think, was the biggest thing for me. I didn't know what the fuck to expect going in. So
yeah.
it was
I think
pretty
that's
good.
one of the things that that's one of the things that helps it out. I think that's it's beneficial. The less you know about it,
Yeah.
and the more surprised you'll be, the better the ride is.
That's the thing. I didn't even read the IMDb about it. I was just like, oh, there's the poster. Cool. Let's go.
I didn't know anything about it either. When I started watching it last night, like the first 10 minutes, I thought, But then once... Serious? Oh, I'm not going to lie.
No, don't.
Yeah.
But
No,
seriously,
yeah, please.
Once you guys, like, first came together in the bar, it was like, and you started interacting with each other, and then it just kind of went off from there. And I thought, holy shit, this is really fucking good.
It starts off as one movie, and then it becomes another, and then it turns all the way around to a place you never expected it to go.
Yeah. No, we can't do any spoilers tonight, can we?
I mean, I wouldn't. Leave the end. That the ending is so great if you don't know what's coming.
Okay.
I mean, because one of the questions you brought up was where I would stop, because that the movie is about these two guys doing unthinkable things for money.
Yeah.
And you had asked,
where would you draw the line?
Where would I? Yeah, where would I draw the line?
I believe my specific question had to do with what it would cost to cut off your. Can I just say that part?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My question was, what specific number? Because of course that was the discussion we were having here while we were watching it. Is, oh my God, what would it cost for you to cut off your pinky? And we got to a number, but then I was discussing it with someone else at work, and her number was like 19 times my number. So I thought, I wonder what it really would cost.
But I think it all depends on where you're at, because
your level of desperation.
How deep of a hole do you have to get out of? Because in all actuality, it's your fucking pinky. What do you use it for?
Yeah.
Right.
And so we're talking about a month of painful recovery. When I read the script, where I was at, I would have cut my pinky off for $25,000. No questions asked.
That's awful.
No questions asked. It's $25,000. That makes a big fucking difference.
What about now?
Yeah, what about now?
No. I'm doing all right now. It would take a lot more than that.
Save the pinky as a bargaining chip.
Now I'd probably cut it off for 100, 200, somewhere in that range,
Really? Yeah, that surprises me. That surprises and saddens me, because my minimum number was 200. And I mean, and I had to really think about it to come up with that.
$200,000 for me to actually put $200,000 in my pocket. I have to make over $400,000 after taxes, commissions, all that stuff.
Well, we would assume that money paid on a dare would be tax-free.
Exactly.
You're not going to report
Everyone
that shit.
assumes that. Pinky cut-off money is tax-free. That's actually in the bylaws, I think. But.
I think you'd have a hard time claiming that.
Yeah. Like, how would you even write a receipt? That's weird.
There's no 1099.
Four fingers.
You have to use your other hand. But that's one of the things.
I think you'll be very happy to know that I was watching this movie in an airport, and I don't think before I do things, I just do them. And there was an elderly couple sitting behind me that was horrified.
Did you at least have headphones on?
I did have my headphones on, but I kept hearing these, oh my God. And I couldn't for the life of me figure out what the problem was. And then I looked down and I looked behind me and they're glaring at me. And I was like, oh, got it.
Yeah.
It was good.
It started off so innocuous, and that's what was so great about it, is how quickly it spiraled. Because I'm a big fan of, One Crazy Night movies. Now, usually they're more like one guy trying to get laid movies, but I like stuff that takes place in the course of one night. And I love a tight little 90-minute movie. So this hit all the marks for me. And I liked how it just started off like, yeah, of course we've all had those harmless nights of fun, where you're, whatever, you got to get a guy's number or something. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, this just got a little darker and a little darker still. And oh my God, what is about to happen? And it just, I was on the edge of my seat. I loved it.
That's so funny. I don't think I've ever had one of those nights. Do you guys have those nights?
Yes.
I never got punched in the nose by Todd Farmer.
Well, no, that's different.
Does it have to be Todd Farmer?
No, but I recognized him, so.
Makes a big difference.
Are you guys...
Oh, are we going to lose him again? Oh, motherfucker, don't you go anywhere.
Did we lose him?
No, I think I'm here.
Okay.
He's there.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
You there?
Yes.
Yes.
I hate
Don't do
Skype.
tunnel.
I hate
Are we
Skype.
having it
All right,
today?
we're back.
We're back? Okay.
He's there. He's there.
Okay, so Ethan, I ripped a
No,
picture.
I got conservative. We're good? Okay.
I can't even tell
I
if
think
it's
I'm losing you now. Say it again?
I said, so Ethan, I ripped a picture off of your Twitter feed, and it's a list of dares.
Oh, boy.
And I'm gonna...
Those are the discarded ones.
Those are the discarded ones?
Yeah. I wish they were the ones that they actually had me do. Minus the drinking liquid heroin. My sponsor wouldn't like that.
Well, no, that's not a good thing. So, girls, I just pasted that into the document so you can see. So, my favorite one, because it's actually something I would do, reenact the ending to Shakespeare's Titus Andronicus as a Disney film. That would be fucking rad, actually.
How does that end as them eating out their heart?
It ends with the queen eating her sons who've been baked into meat pies.
Right.
Titus killing the emperor in the film version. He shoves a giant silver spoon down his throat and out the back of his throat. So you could totally do that, like Beauty and the Beast style.
Yeah, put a song to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then sort of like remember the Briar Fox and Briar Bear?
Yes.
You know?
I don't think we go the unintentionally racist point with it, but...
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they cooked the blackbirds in the pie and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure it could be very happy and a very, like, bright and cheery theme song that everyone would be singing. We'd make it to the Oscars. It'd be great.
I'm still supposed to watch porn with my mother.
Oh.
Does she get to choose
Yeah.
the porn?
What's that?
She gets to choose the porn. That's how the dare goes, right?
Well, I think I'm going to break it to her easy and do, like, old classic porn, you know?
Oh, but some of that stuff was so much more awful. What, like, crack out Deep Throat and see what she says?
Yeah.
I remember my father-in-law was like, oh, I saw that in theater. And I was like, oh, God.
What theater?
Well, back when they actually showed it in the theater, he went to see it. It was like a double feature with that and Behind the Green Door.
Wow.
Wow.
Just watch the uncut version of Thriller: A Cruel Picture, and it takes care of a lot of things.
Including that one. Might count, because I saw that with my mom.
Oh,
I should make my mom watch Sweet Homo Alabama. They did a gay porn, and the lead character was wearing my wardrobe.
Oh, shit.
It's so good. It's so good.
Why don't you just wait like 6 months and take her to 50 Shades of Grey?
Oh, man.
Yeah, but that's not porn.
No, it's
And
I
not.
agree.
down
There's
anyway. Not that I read
There's
it.
another book. There's a book out there that was written by A.M. Holmes, amazing author, and she wrote this. I think this was '96, and it makes Shades of Grey.
Oh, man. Why is he breaking up for now?
That was crap timing.
Yep, thank you, Skype. We had
We'll
Ethan Embry
never
talking about
know.
50
We'll
Shades
never
of Grey,
know.
and you cut out.
I have a bad connection on this one.
You do.
Should I try?
Okay.
Yeah.
Please,
Just try that again.
please talk to us again about 50
Shades.
Shades of Grey.
I could,
Son of a bitch.
Jesus.
Skype is just out to fuck us tonight. This is completely unfair.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just read down the list of dares that are on this list. So the dares are: someone drinks liquid heroin, Sarah asks a stranger to borrow a condom, someone needs to take a full shower with their clothes on, continue to wear them the rest of the day.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. Take a fart directly into your open mouth. Like, these
Ew.
are dude dares.
No.
Yeah.
Intentionally dislocate your shoulder.
No.
Shave off your eyebrows and then your pubes. Then crazy glue the pubes where the eyebrows were and vice versa. That was Ethan's second favorite. There he is.
People keep trying to fucking call me and jack it up.
You are just too motherfucking popular.
And it's people I never talk to either. Go away. So I was saying, there's a book, A.M. Holmes. She wrote this book. I think it was in the late 90s. It's called The End of Alice. And it's about, have you heard of it?
Yeah. I'm the hardcover honey. I ought to have heard of it.
Yeah. Oh, that is a crazy book.
What was the last one you read?
Is it like a kid? It's something with a kid, right? I remember the reviews.
Yeah, it's the girl was molested when she was a child, and her molester is now in prison. So, but now the victim, wants to molest her neighbor. So she's writing. Yeah, she's writing the man that molested her to learn how he did it to her.
Oh my gosh!
And it's so dark and yet poetic. I don't know how she did that. It makes you cringe and turns you on at the same time. It's unbelievable book.
That's how Tampa was. I felt horrible for being the least bit excited reading it because it was about a girl who all she wanted to do was teach and molest 8th grade boys, and I was like, wait, turn the page, turn the page.
But how do they do that? How do they make you
I don't know.
cringe?
It was good.
Oh.
What was the last one that gave you nightmares, Jocelyn? The Venus Complex?
The Venus Complex, yeah, that made me want to take a shower for numerous reasons. There were really amazing sex scenes that devolved immediately into horrible crime scenes, and I was like, oh, if only I had stopped 3 paragraphs ago. This would be a nice memory, but no.
Ruining nice memories, one line at a time.
That was a well-written book, but disturbing.
The Venus Complex?
Yeah.
The Venus Complex. The lady that wrote it is, she's an actress, or she was, I guess, and she was in Hellraiser, which is kind of awesome.
All right, that's on my list. I'm going to have to read that.
All right, she'll be happy to hear it.
All right, Jocelyn, do you want to move ahead with one of your next questions?
Let's see. I'm looking at this list. So I guess my question would be, the people that are out there now acting, whose career would you most like to emulate?
Well, I can only do mine, I think it's one of I try as hard as I can to not compare myself to others, That's a death trap for anyone that even entertains the idea of calling themselves an artist.
I agree.
But the people that I have a lot of respect for, I go in and out of actually having a huge crush on Tom Hardy. Yeah.
No one's gonna believe that.
Sploosh.
Right?
Sploosh.
Yeah. I've actually, for a short period of time, named my dick Tom Hardy.
I need a break. I need a break.
Edward Norton is always the way that guy can completely go across genres, from American History X to the stuff that he's been doing lately with Wes Anderson. That guy's amazing. Recently, the stuff that Jared Leto has been doing is incredible. There's a lot of really, really talented actors out there.
Those are good choices. I like those.
Yeah, I could only hope to be as good as them someday,
So, Wes Anderson, who I like a lot also, so that brings me to my next question, which is, what directors would you want to work with? And do you have a chance of getting in the door for people that you really desperately want to work with?
Well, that's the thing. Lately, there's a lot of, like, the guy that directed Cheap Thrills. He'll be around for a long time. You can just tell. And so it was an honor to work with him and get to know him at the beginning. I actually, I got to meet Wes when he was doing Rushmore. And I got pretty close on that for Schwartzman's role. It was right around the same time I was doing Can't Hardly Wait. But that's now the way technology and how easy it is to make a film. There's a lot of really incredible directors that are starting to come up. So, but as far as the established ones, I mean, again, the Darren Aronofsky is a fucking genius. And Wes Anderson, of course. The guy that I'm doing my next thing. Did you guys see The Loved Ones? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I haven't watched it yet.
The really dark Australian about the twisted prom night, you know?
So that movie is a mindfuck.
Yeah.
I was expecting something totally different, and I sat down to watch it, and I was all like in a really good mood. And I think it was my day off my work that when I was in LA, and the time it was over, I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's a heavy one. That guy that wrote and directed that, Sean Byrne, I'm doing his next movie, his first American film. And we've been working on that for about a year now. So the prep of that, being able to be a part of a film for that long has been a lot of fun. I don't know, it's just, you want to work with guys that have a vision, that are also very collaborative and invite you to bring your part into their vision, you know?
Mm-hmm. I'd like to see what you could do for David Fincher.
I mean, I would absolutely love that. The guy's, he's a genius.
I like him.
I really like him. God, there's, who is the guy that, he talked about it earlier, Marathon Man and Drugstore Cowboy?
I feel like I should know that right off the top of my head.
Is it like John something? He's not around.
I don't know.
John Schlesinger.
Yeah, Schlesinger.
Yeah, John Schlesinger.
Oh, they don't make them like that anymore.
All right, Jocelyn, you want to keep going? Jocelyn.
What would you do if you couldn't act anymore? What would you do for a living?
I mean, it would definitely have to be on set, you know? I don't know anything else. I've never made a single dollar doing anything else.
I don't know, that Craigslist ad might net you some good cash.
Nobody's responded.
No, I did.
Oh, that's ego. That is ego shattering right there.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I responded like 5 minutes ago. You probably didn't get it yet, though.
Hoorah.
So, let me ask you just briefly about, I'm not going to make you talk all about your 90s and Can't Hardly Wait and Empire Records and stuff. Everybody
That's
loves
all right.
Got it. But so now, what if someone offered you a big fat check, but you had to do like a totally lame ass, like a parody, like those awful, haunted house. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
those guys that make the terrible movies. You know who I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so what if those guys came to you and said, listen, here's the deal. We're going to give you $3 million, but we need you to wear your whole outfit from Can't Hardly Wait. We need you to act like Preston for 6 months, and this is going to be awesome. And you're going to not be super psyched about it, but you're going to cash this big check. Would you do that?
Again, I think it's a lot like cutting off my pinky. You know? Where would I be at the time? If they came to me right now, I'd say no.
Okay. Yeah, right now.
But
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But I don't. I always say that it's impossible to know what you would or wouldn't do unless you were actually in that situation. you know? I wouldn't like it. I'll tell you that much. I wouldn't be proud of it.
I think you can tell that. I mean, I think when you're watching something and you're like, you can feel sometimes when actors, it's just visceral embarrassment to the point where you're embarrassed for them. And so, you know, we have that. We watch a lot of movies here in this house, and my husband sometimes says, well, I don't understand why so-and-so is in this. Why is he in this movie? It's awful. And I say, he's got a mortgage just like we do.
And sometimes we don't know how awful it's going to be.
Right.
You know? Like, I
have you done anything that you...
Go ahead.
Have you done anything that you thought was going to be amazing and then you were just really disappointed with how it turned out overall?
Oh, constantly. You know? There's...
God, I miss
Don't get pulled over. Are you getting pulled over?
No, I'm parked right now.
Because that would be amazing.
I was in the middle of posting another Craigslist ad. I knew I shouldn't have parked in front of this school. Yeah, all the time. And on Cheap Thrills, I didn't know what it was going to be like. I've never shot a movie like that before. You know? It's a crapshoot. Making a movie is totally a crapshoot.
Are there any, going back to Cheap Thrills, just saying you've never shot anything like that, is there, I know I heard some stuff from when you were on Skype with us at the theater, but is there anything that you can tell our podcast about Cheap Thrills that maybe people wouldn't know?
Like, you mean how we shot it and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, we almost did it like a play. We had a really limited amount of time to do it. I think we had 12 days of shooting.
Wow.
And normally when you do a movie, you shoot what's called a master, where you see everything. It's a wide shot. And then you move in and you do it again and you do the close-ups. And you do about 6 or 7 different shots per scene as a starting point. For Cheap Thrills, we went in and each scene was 11, 14 pages long. And the director just stuck 2 cameras in the room. And we would just do it over and over and over. We never knew what he was getting. We never knew what he was capturing. And we just did it like a play. And he just filmed it while we did it. So...
Does that seem super weird? Did that throw you off at all?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say threw us off. It was really freeing to shoot that way, because there was a natural flow to it. Mm-hmm. But if you sit back afterward, you would ask yourself, what are we getting? You know? Yeah. And there was one time we all went to the director and we said, are you getting all this stuff? And he'd say, yes. And so all you can do is trust. Got it. You're getting it. Cool beans. And, because 90% of making a movie is in the editing room too. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And he cut that thing so well. Yeah, that was something I definitely want to mention, the tension in that film. Like, I was super tense the entire film.
Me too.
Yay! Sorry, but yay!
No, it's good. It's really good, and like not even from where you guys started your scenes. It was just like right from the very beginning. It was tense, and it felt awkward and strange, and then it just got more and more tense and tense and tense, and just built and built and built, and then I don't know. I might have passed out. It was.
I probably would have watched the whole movie about Pat Healy trying to find a new job, frankly. I mean, that was stressing me out from the very beginning, so...
There was a lot of tension on set, too, you know?
That was going to be my next question. You're going to get really tired of talking about it, but... No. There, again, we didn't have a lot of time to make it, and so the easiest thing to do is to go with what you feel naturally and to feed those emotions. So normally when I meet people, I try to look for the things that I like about them, you know? Mm-hmm.
that's the best way to interact in society. And you nurture those things that you like and tend to ignore the things that you don't like. But I met Pat 2 days before we started shooting. So I made a decision. I'm going to go with the things that I don't like about him. I'm going to focus on those. And it was tense, man, you know? I got him to the point where he really did not like being around me.
And it shows. It totally fucking shows.
It works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. Yeah. And now, you know, we've talked about it.
Great.
We've talked about it since, and we get along great now. You know, I'm going to go see him tonight. I have a lot of respect for him. He's not only a great actor, but he's a really good writer. He's a really smart man. But it was work, you know?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, you'll have to say hi to him. From us, Suzanne and I have been kind of going back and forth with him today.
I definitely will. Do you guys want him to come on?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
I need to sit down and watch Compliance. I need to watch Compliance and The Innkeepers first, and then I want to have them.
Compliance is another super creepy one.
I've heard that, and it keeps moving down on my list, and I just bumped it up to number 1 because I love Ty West, and I think I can talk my husband into watching that one. So
I haven't seen The Innkeepers.
I didn't like it. Ugh.
I did. I thought it was good.
No, I'm like the only one who doesn't like that shit. I don't know.
It's slow,
What
but
is it?
I really enjoy
It's like
it.
a haunted.
It was a haunted inn. I don't know. It was too slow for me. It felt like a TV show. I think that was.
But that's how Ty West. That's how Ty West is. Like House of the Devil was a super slow burn.
Well, then, God damn it, Ty West.
I like him though.
I have to have words with Ty West.
I thought he was good. I loved Your Next. I know he didn't direct Your Next, but I enjoyed him in Your Next. I thought Your Next was my favorite, and then Cheap Thrills reminded me of Your Next because I like stuff where I'm laughing and then I'm horrified and then I'm laughing a little more and then I'm a little more horrified.
That was fucking awesome. It was like, ha ha, fuck.
Yeah.
I have to say, honestly, and I actually told Kat this as I was watching it, my favorite part of the film was when you're sitting next to David Tennant on the couch and it's like flying away from him.
That was my favorite
so
too.
Loud, everybody around me turned around and stared at me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I've laughed that loud in a while.
That was my favorite.
Just your reaction in that moment was so real and amazing. It completely cracked me up.
Well, there was some real shit going on.
I'm not surprised. Dude, your fucking face, that was hilarious.
It was fun to see David Koechner be more serious, too. Like, you're used to him being a big, dumb goofball, but I think he could do so much more, and I thought Cheap Thrills was a good example of that.
It's so awful. I can't not see Champ Kind. I can't
No.
unsee
I love
that.
him. I think he's great.
Put some barbecue sauce on that big old butt, blah, blah, blah. I can't not see it.
Now, he was on Justified this season, and he was quite good. I did not expect him to be as good a dramatic actor as he is. So
He can be really imposing. He's
Yeah.
a big dude, you know? He reminds me a lot of, think of Ed O'Neill, you know?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Ed O'Neill's darker stuff?
Yes.
Mhm. I mean, that guy, he at least in my generation, the 90s, he was one of the biggest goofballs ever. But in reality, he's this, 275-pound brute, you know?
He's bulky.
Yeah.
I like him.
But yeah, Koechner can be intense, man.
Yeah, he definitely was. He definitely sold it. And that was definitely another unexpected thing because it's a comedy, I'm expecting, goofy face, and it didn't happen. I was like, oh shit.
But there's some funny
if you're Sarah Paxton in that movie, do you feel like, hey, this is great, I'm so happy to be here, what a great opportunity, or are you like, hey, why don't I get in your line? Why do the guys get all the lines?
Well, see, and I think her role was one of the hardest because she doesn't have a lot to say, but her role is so important.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. And that the manipulation that her character is doing, but without saying anything, Yeah. Yeah, you watch it, if you watch it a second time knowing what happens in the end and the whole point of what David and Sarah are trying to do to us, and you see what her choices were to manipulate Pat, really good.
No, they're amazing. Yeah. And I was catching on to that as we were going, because I think my husband kind of figured it out at, like, early on. He's like, I bet this is going to happen. I'm like, shh. And then when it did happen, he was like, that is not what I was expecting. So he was all stoked that he called it, but he was not ready for what happened.
He called it the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
He was rooting for Keckner's guy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And the thing is, I love that in the end when they're showing the slideshow photos. I'm going to mention the slideshow because there's one slideshow and the two, like all three of you together, and David's got his hand up over Pat's head.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's fucking beautiful. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was.
Yep.
That was a nice little thing for
me.
To
do that for that slideshow thing, what we would do is we did every scene because they didn't know which pictures would be in the slideshow.
Okay.
So what we did was we did every scene again, and then Sarah would just take pictures of us doing it after the cameras were done rolling. Sarah would just take pictures of it with her iPhone and email them to the producer. So ghetto. Such ghetto filmmaking.
No, it's called indie filmmaking or guerrilla filmmaking.
Yeah, yeah.
No, we're calling it ghetto filmmaking now. So is
no,
we're going to get on board with
that. Dinners that cost more money than Cheap Thrills did.
That sounds like a nice place. Was there anything you had trouble with? Was there anything that you were like, I don't think my guy would do this? Or were you like, yeah, great, I'm all in?
No, there wasn't, because it was all there was some dialogue that we had a little bit of fun with and massaged a little bit, you know? But every point was in there. ABC was all in there. And it was all placed in a very strategic fashion, and we all agreed and bought into it. The only thing that we would do is play around a little bit with the words and make them a little more personal, you know?
I think that's really cool. It was a very real feeling film as well. I mean, I was reading an earlier interview where you guys were talking about your fight scenes.
Right.
And did you actually end up punching each other?
I hit Pat a couple times before that, just to piss him off. And then the main fight at the end, I told him to go crazy on me, and by that point, he was okay with it.
So who has the better punch? Do you have the better punch, or does he? Like,
I'm not gonna play that game. But I never closed my fist on Pat. I would not want to hurt the gentleman.
It's very nice of you. We have that on record now.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Making movies is a lot of fun. It really is.
Do you have any thoughts on how it's going to do?
No, I have a feeling it'll be something that slowly crawls in popularity over the years. Because, I mean, let's face it, economic struggles aren't going anywhere, you know? There's always going to be a 1% and a 99%. So I don't think it's going to be a huge weekend. I don't think it's going to make millions of dollars in the theaters, but I think it'll be, 10 years from now, people will be, instead of passing over a VHS, they'll be sending a link, and people will be watching it, you know? Which I love. And I'm okay. To me, just the idea that you guys laughed, You guys were tense. Every theater that I've seen it with has a great time watching it. That, to me, is better than I could have ever imagined. You know? There's that.
That's my one regret is watching it at home. I think I would have had. I loved it, but I think I would have loved it 37% more in a theater because everyone would have been.
I was just going to say
it's
that.
all about the theater. Yeah. But there's that. I think it was Quincy Jones. He did a Rolling Stone interview, and the one quote that I got from that was, I believe it was Quincy. It said, "When you make music for money, that's when God leaves the room." And I'm a fucking atheist, but I understand the sentiment. You know, so I think the movie's already a hit, in my opinion.
Oh my God, how cute are you? That's great.
Oh.
And all the little black hearts go pit-a-pat.
Well, we're certainly going to do everything we can to push the movie because
Absolutely.
it really was fucking great.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
No, it's our pleasure.
The problem is everyone we know already wants to see it. We need to tell people we don't know.
Would you put up a link to my Craigslist ad too? Because I'm really sad that I didn't get
Sure.
any.
You know what? I totally will. I totally will.
I have a friend that will be all over that shit, I assure you. And it's a male. It's a male. I hope you're okay with it.
Read the ad. It's for man, woman. It's both.
Because I was just going to mention that my boss, who is a gay man, wanted me to tell you that he is a big fan of yours.
We'll tell him thank you very much.
Okay. So he would have responded to that ad.
You should send him the link.
All right, Ethan. Well, we're gonna wrap up, but I'm gonna ask you a couple of little questions before we go. Unless Jocelyn, you have an extra question.
Can I throw another one in there? I know I kind of
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, so just speaking of fans, I'm sure you have a lot of weird, crazy fans, but is there anyone that you haven't met that you would totally geek out over?
Who did I meet I saw the other day that I totally geeked over? God, who was it? I geeked out too. I geeked out heavy. Most of them are musicians. I geek out over musicians pretty massive. I geeked out hard on Dave Grohl.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, he was at the mall with his daughters, and it was right before Christmas, you know, and he was in Urban Outfitters of all places.
Goodbye, mystery. Goodbye.
I'm actually a little disappointed to hear that. But
No, but I mean, he's got these two young daughters, you know, he's giving them what they want, you know.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, our society, you know, the other kids, nobody knew who the fuck was in the store with him, and I just kind of walked up sideways next to him and didn't even look at him, and I just said, "You shaped my youth," and it was a lot of fun.
Was he like, "Thanks, I need to see this in a medium"?
No, he he acted like nobody had said anything, like nobody had given him kudos in years, which is crazy. That guy's a god. There was an actor that I freaked out on the other day. I can't remember who. I do it. It's rare, but I freak out.
I think it's healthy.
Yeah.
It has
if
to
people, if they've affected you and like their work is part of your life, you know, I get it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask my stupid questions now.
All right, what do you got?
I did this with Scott Derrickson. I'm going to do it to you. If you could compare the end of Cheap Thrills to a small, fluffy animal, what would it be?
I mean, a poodle would be too obvious.
The ending.
Just the ending.
Yeah.
God, I don't think they make small fluffy animals like that. Probably like a badger. What are the guys that that internet video where the
honey badger.
They're so hardcore and they eat cobras.
Honey badger don't care.
Honey badger don't give a shit.
Care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally fucking honey badger.
That's awesome. Good answer.
That's a good answer.
And my second question is, if you had to pick your favorite horror movie of all time that is not Phantasm, what would it be?
Ooh. Straight up horror?
Yeah.
Favorite of all time. God, that's a tough
Why
one.
don't you give him like top three? Let him have like top three and then.
Let's see.
Does that help?
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. Because it's the horror, quote unquote horror. Oh, I mean, I Saw the Devil. Have you seen that? The Korean film?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Oh. But that's more of a thriller, although it's got more gore and blood than I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, there's some weird designations, so.
Totally count.
Yeah.
Chaser, also a Korean film. Have you seen that one?
Yep.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
When you're on top of all this.
I have to be.
The Korean ones, man, they are some dark dudes.
I think Asian horror in general is like a super fucked up genre.
Yeah, it really is.
I
And
like The Host. That's more of a monster movie.
yeah, the host, that was the was that the secret creature dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was recently that creeped me out the most, probably more creeped out than I've been in a long time, was the Vice documentary that was an interview with a cannibal.
Ugh. I'm out.
Yes.
Jocelyn doesn't like cannibals.
No, Michael does not like cannibals.
It's a story about a Japanese citizen that goes to France to study, and while he's in France, he kills and eats his roommate, and he gets caught trying to dispose her body.
Oh.
And the French public, because it's social medicine, they did not want to pay for his rehabilitation or incarceration. So the public begged.
Oh. Man, how did we lose him right at the very end of that?
Yeah, we always lose at the end of stories.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Are you there?
He's there.
Oh,
Yes.
that was a total like Rocky Horror anticipate.
Yeah. Right.
Where did I lose you?
The French public. Blah.
Okay, so the French public, they didn't want to pay for his incarceration or his rehabilitation, so they demanded that they send him back to Tokyo. And when he got back to Tokyo, they let him go. So now he's in his 80s, and he's a Japanese celebrity.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's upsetting.
And he had a cooking, he had like a cooking show.
Okay, I'd watch that.
But there's the one part that got me, that it was probably the most horrifying thing I've ever seen on film. You know how Japanese porn is really dark, you know? So they got this Japanese porn star to live with him for 24 hours and sleep with him.
Yeah.
But he didn't tell her what he did until after they slept together. And the look on her face when oh my God.
Holy shit. Oh, Japan.
Yep.
I love a happy ending.
Cannibal.
Oh, Japan.
Turn that into a Disney movie.
Once again, I'm sure there's a really, really happy banquet scene that could happen. Maybe like the ending of Shrek? I don't know.
Beauty and the Beast, man.
Beauty and the Beast. I know, like the singing cutlery, because they all have to help.
Ugh.
It'd be great.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, and who would be the dude?
Ed O'Neill.
Oh, fuck. Who's the guy that plays Cyclops? I can't get over him in Enchanted. It's just too funny.
I don't see him eating people.
Oh, come on. That makes it even creepier. It was like seeing fucking Castiel in that movie. Oh, it's awful.
I was reading, who was the book is called God is Not Great, Religion Poisons Everything.
Richard Dawkins?
No,
Dawkins isn't quite up front of it with that.
But, Christopher Hitchens.
Oh, yeah. That's the other one. That makes sense.
Yeah, and there was a part where he was talking about why it's not kosher to eat pork, where that came from, and the roots are from cannibalism because it tastes so much like human flesh that it would tempt
Oh my
people
God.
to go back to eating human flesh.
As the Jew chuckles hard.
We had pork last night. I didn't say I was a good Jew.
Oh, for fuck.
Yeah.
But that might have been the last time. Now I just decided.
There's a reason why horror movies work so well, and I think it's because our world is so horrifying.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time reading true crime stories and historical crime, so yeah, that's my bag. I like that shit.
What was a good one that it's an amazing book, but it's horrible. Columbine. I just finished that last week.
Oh God.
I want to add you as my Goodreads friend. I bet you're not even on Goodreads.
I should be on Goodreads, shouldn't I?
It's so great. It's so great.
It's so good, it should be great reads.
It should be great reads. You're right.
Dear Goodreads, your name is stupid. Change it.
I've been thinking about, it would be nice to join a really fucked up book club.
I think we should start one.
Just vile books.
We should totally start one. Oh my God.
I'm gonna tweet you a couple recommendations after this.
I love that. I love that. Oh, I will do the same.
Okay.
All right, Ethan, my dear, we're gonna let you go. Like, I swear to God, we could honestly talk to you for the rest of the fucking night. Is there anything?
I had a great time.
Thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything else that you want to say about Cheap Thrills other than go fucking see it?
If you want to see it, please do. And I really appreciate that you guys enjoyed seeing it.
We loved it. We absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
All right, honey. Well, we'll let you get on with your night, and I'm sure we'll harass you later.
All right. Anytime.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Waterverse. Thanks for having me, lady.
Bye, sweetie. So thank you so much to Ethan Embry for joining us tonight. You can find the Horror Honeys on Twitter at Horror Honeys, HORRORHONEYS, or you can find us on our website at thehorrorhoneys.com. You can find The Revenge Honey.
I'm Linny at Linny Loohoo, LINNIELOOWHO.
And you can find Suzanne.
That's Suzebe04, SUZEBEE04.
And you can find Jocelyn.
Hi, I'm the Hardcover Honey at JB Rivard at JB as in boy, RIVARD.
Awesome. You can find our podcast on Podomatic. You can find us on Stitcher. You can find us on the Wicked Radio Network, which we are so proud to be a part of. And you can also find us on Radio Fubar. Now, we are live on Radio Fubar on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. CST, and 8 p.m. EST. God damn your time zones. All right, everybody, time to say goodbye. Ready? 1, 2, 3, goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Goodbye.
I love to take my baby to a movie show so I can try to suit you while the lights are low. But you won't cuddle to a story of romance. There's only one way I've got a chance. It takes the Batman, Wolfman, Frankenstein, or Dracula to put her in the mood for love.